The nation still mourns the liberation icon and the third president of the Republic of Namibia, Dr. Hakainde Geingob. Welcome to Sunset News this Monday evening. In this half hour, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura.
And I am Micheline Navatises.
Getting into the news tonight, the City of Windhoek Management Committee is finally complete with the two vacant posts occupied on Friday by councillors Magdalena Lambert from the SWAPO party and Bernardes Arip from the IPC. Arip, nominated by NUDU's Joseph Wabingene and seconded by SWAPO's Sem Nyoma, has also been elected as the Management Committee's chairperson. Let's take a look.
Very much, and leadership, congratulations for having completed this process. Let me use this very opportunity to just appreciate the work just completed by the presiding officer. It is therefore confirmed and concluded that the council and the management committee of the Municipal Council of Windhoek has been fully constituted in terms of the legal provisions as provided for under the Local Authorities Act. This, as much as I want to be excited, I can only request you leadership to give yourself a round of applause.
Now, Micheline, I understand that this process did take quite some time, a lengthy period of time. What are your thoughts on, the committee finally being, filled? The vacant posts are now, occupied.
Firstly, kudos to them because, as you said, it was really this process was delayed. It had to be called off, come back again. It's the same story over and over again. But now we can continue to the next step. We can look forward to what these members have up their sleeves and just the town council meetings and what we can do from that and what will be the result of this council meeting. So now that we have that behind our backs, we can move on and see what our next projects are.
How progressive the council is. Getting into our next story, a heavy storm destroyed close to 400 homes at Wanapandaula village at Ndola constituency in Ohangwena region on Saturday when the northern areas received rain. The storm destroyed iron roofs for some huts, causing damage to stored food items at several homesteads. The councillor of Ndola constituency, Ferdinand Shifidi, said the corrugated iron sheets of some houses were flipping over and getting blown off due to the strong wind, and some of them were falling off. The rain was pouring on some valuables, and some people took their goods to their neighbors' houses, Shifidi said. He said other affected villages are Wanapendolo, Okatana, and Ndola. Shifidi said they are still traveling from village to village to assess the damage done. The majority of their outdoor furniture was utterly destroyed, and they are busy cleaning up the effect of the rain and determining which equipment is still functional, he said. Ikaloka village headman Iben Nashandi also confirmed that 50 homes were destroyed and schools and trees were uprooted at Ikola village. Nashandi said the storm also destroyed schools and local shops. He said that no human injuries were recorded, but damages to properties are extensive. Nashandi said the number of affected households could increase as they are still busy conducting proper assessments. He urged the residents to refrain from touching or moving electrical infrastructures that are damaged as they pose a danger. Nashandi said his office will render assistance to the affected homes and, like Shifidi, he called on fellow citizens to assist the affected residents with speedy reconstruction. Now, this is definitely, devastating for the community up north. Would you say there's ways that, as a government or as a community, we can have measures in place so that, this doesn't happen again in the future?
Yes, of course. It's not the first time that we're receiving rain, and we as Namibian citizens know that rainy seasonal and the times that it comes starting from October to just about end of March. or further months in some areas. So I think definitely if we can plan ahead and just have precautions like you said, then the damage will be much more lesser. For example, the energy houses that are not occupied in one of the areas recently, I think in the recent year, we saw that due to fire, I think, a breakout of fire, citizens were housed in energy houses. So if we can also just, I mean, I know there are rules and standard operating procedures in place, but if we can have humility in these cases, then I think we as a nation can go as far.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Now getting into our next story, the Landless People's Movement has reversed its decision to dismiss 3 SWAPO councillors at Kara's Regional Council. This comes after the SWAPO lawyers wrote to the LPM demanding the reversal of these dismissals. The suspended constituency councillors are Lazarus Nangolo, Susan Jaleka, and Taimi Amakali. The trio were dismissed amid a squabble for positions in the management committee. At a recent press conference, Kara's Regional Council Chairperson Joseph Isaacs accused the dismissed councillors of various transgressions. The offenses committed range from absconding from meetings without valid reasons and deliberately and with malicious intent trying to sabotage the council to refuse to fill vacant positions in the management committee to cause the council to fail and be unable to justify their absence, he said. SWAPO lawyer Sisa Namanje wrote a letter to Isaacs last month demanding that he reverse the dismissals by no later than the 1st of February. Namanje said Section 10 of the Regional Councils Act, on which the dismissals were based, does not give the council power to fire councillors. He argued that the only councillors may only vacate their regional council positions under 4 circumstances, and dismissal is not one of them. The applicants subsequently launched an urgent application on the 2nd of February, and it was set for hearing on the 9th of February. The parties settled out of court and agreed that LPM would not implement its decision taken at its special meetings held on the 25th of January 2024. Therefore, the councillors will carry out their duties in accordance with the Regional Councils Act, including attending relevant meetings. Now, this story is, I don't understand what's happening, to be fair. Would you say that the LPM was right to, tell these council members, according to them, that we're not behaving according to, the rules of the council? Or do you think there was other reasons that they were, dismissed from their positions?
I'd actually not like to comment because, as we know, there's always 2 sides to a story, and these members come from different parties. But one thing that unites them, of course, is the Regional Council Act. And I think if all of them abide to the Act, we'll have less stories of this or issues that, members do not want to fill positions because member of this party decided to do A, B, and C, D. So I think if we all just follow the rules, then of course it's not anything personal. They're in those positions for a reason to serve, and I think they need to stick to that mandate and that oath that they took to serve us. So let the rest be history.
And I think we need to put politics aside and do what councillors are meant to do, which is serve the community. Thank you so much for your time, Micheline Nawatises.
It's a pleasure.
In our Story of the Day segment, the Namibian president briefs South African president on new rules.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
President Nangolo Mbumba briefed South African President Cyril Ramaphosa on the new and fast changes implemented following the sudden passing of President Hage Geingob. Let's take a look.
We were on the government side. We have to make it difficult, but quick changes.
Yes.
Deputy Prime Minister, our well-experienced Minister of International Relations, we have to ask her to move up.
Yeah.
And that was, the people accepted that. And the party, our SWAPO party accepted that. The minister in the presidency and the press secretary remain in their position. Yesterday we had to appoint another deputy prime minister, but a minister who has nothing to do with international relations, but works and transport. Because of his seniority, not because of the portfolio he's holding. And we have now a younger, not so young, Minister of International Relations. We hope he will hack it. He will not be the level of your foreign minister, highly experienced, former education minister and other portfolio.
According to Economic News, Namibia Airports Company lines up strategic projects. We expand on this story on the other side of this.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
The Namibia Airports Company is undertaking multiple expansion projects aimed at fueling the company's growth and positioning Namibia as a future logistics hub. These initiatives are based on projects already undertaken and completed to steer the company on its path to prosperity. NAC was able to successfully conduct apron and taxiway refurbishments at Katima Mulilo Airport and Andimba Twevo Yatwevo Airport. The NAC also completed the procurement of new aircraft rescue and firefighting equipment at Walvis Bay International Airport, delivered at a cost of over 16 million Namibian dollars. Moreover, the company said it completed the congestion alleviation project at Hosea Kutako International Airport for 250 million Namibian dollars. This was done with the support of the Ministry of Works and Transport to attain full compliance ahead of the upcoming ICAO US OAP CMA audit scheduled for the 6th to the 18th of March 2024. NAC Board Chairperson Lige Hangala explained. The Hosea Kutako International Apron Expansion Project is a required extension of the Congestion Alleviation Initiative as it seeks to ease the congestion risk on the airside. With Namibia setting its sights on becoming a logistics hub, the construction of a cargo apron at the WBIA will help realize this goal. The construction of an additional cargo apron will boost the WBIA's status as the potential cargo hub in the region. It also seeks to cement Namibia's goal of becoming a logistical hub and complements the finalization of the National Ports Authority's Dry Port Project. The NAC said it is expected to commence in 2026. This project will also increase the capacity of the Walvis Bay Airport while at the same time addressing safety compliance requirements. Let's take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.93, against the euro at 20.45, against the US dollar at 19, and $2 Namibian dollars and 64 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, copper, platinum went up while gold and Brent crude oil went down. Brent crude oil trading at 0.04%, going for $81 and 96 cents per barrel. In international news, Qatar frees 8 Indians months after dropping death sentences. We get into this after the break.
We are all seeking connection to each other, to the world, to the spaces we exist in.
Poor sportsmanship right now from the lads.
You might be physically ready, your body is ready, but mentally.
Here's another chance, and it is a goal from Vindo Kahana.
Wij zijn CVI is er aan neertrekken. Hij bal lijkt mij grond gevat. Ja, hij grond gevat. En dan zie.
But just enough next.
Running that mountain up. Okay, so we will be doing this for the mountain climber. More advanced, slightly advanced.
So is jou trolley reg? Want
I love it. I love it. So then
kickstart our countdown at number 5 with this one.
Op Netwerk TV se Klets Kompas gesels ons nuus van 'n Maandag tot Donderdag. Ons kyk ook na die weer en meer. Stories wat jou raak en stories wat saak maak.
They've made a mistake in denying me bail, and they've made several other mistakes in many other cases.
The channels that teach us something new or reflect our expression. So it goes beyond switching to the right station. It's about choosing the experience that can adorn the present, dressing it with our tastes as we expand our preferences, because what we are actually connecting to is boundless, limitless human energy. And this is the spirit of NTV.
Getting into our international news, as previously mentioned before the break, Qatar has released 8 Indian ex-naval officers after dropping their death sentences. India's foreign ministry said earlier today, crediting the Qatari emir for the decision more than 18 months after their arrest challenged diplomatic ties. The men were charged with spying for Israel, according to sources, though India and Qatar did not confirm the charges. Their death sentence, handed down in October, was dropped in December. India said 7 of these officers have returned to the country, and some of the men told media on arrival in New Delhi that it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi's personal intervention that helped free them. New Delhi engaged in talks for months with Qatar after the men were arrested in August 2022, and the case challenged ties with Doha, a crucial natural gas supplier to India, one of the world's top energy importers. After the break, we'll be delving into our weather predictions.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Let's take a look at our weather predictions for tomorrow. Sunny and very hot in the Karas region, elsewhere partly cloudy and hot to very hot with a few to isolated thunder showers over the central northern regions, the Irango, Oshadonjupa, Khomas and Hardab East regions, but scattered thunder showers in the Kunene region in places. Partly cloudy and warm to hot with showers and thunder showers in the coast, and moderate to fresh northeasterly to southwesterly is the wind. And the tides at Walvis Bay are as follows: a high tide at 5:52 a.m., a low tide at 11:57 a.m., and again another high tide at 6:12 p.m. Sunrise in Windhoek is at 6:40 a.m. and sunset is at 7:33 p.m. We'll be right back with our sports news with Ari Hochart.
The Agenda is a weekly national affairs interview program hosted every Sunday by Namibian Sun editor Toyvon Jabela, featuring a panel of high-profile newsmakers, analysts and experts. The Agenda aims to reach high-end news consumers seeking informed understanding of national issues. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com and the Namibia Media Holdings Facebook platform. The Agenda focuses on interviews where we put the nation in the hot seat. Contact Agenda at synergy.com.na to get your product and service in the hot seat. The Agenda, focused on today's conversation.
Now, last night was the final for the AFCON, Nigeria against Côte d'Ivoire, and Côte d'Ivoire got the best of Nigeria with a 2-1 win, securing themselves the AFCON trophy. Now here's Ari Hochart with the rest of the sports.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news first. Tennis news from the WTA Women's Tour, and it was the Abu Dhabi Championship won by Elena Rybakina, and she beat Daria Kasatkina in the final by 6-1 and 6-4. It is Rybakina that is number 5 in the world at the moment, and this is a 7th career win on the WTA Tour. She's also the 2022 Wimbledon champion. The next tournament on the WTA women's calendar, that will be the Qatar Open, and that will be a thousands tournament, meaning all the top players in the world will play in that. The number 1 seed in that tournament will be Iga Swiatek of Poland, and number 2 seed will be Coco Gauff of the USA, with Elena Rybakina being number 3 seed. Moving on to golf news, and it is news from the PGA Tour first. It is Nick Taylor of Canada that won the Waste Management Phoenix Open over the weekend. He won it in a playoff against Charlie Hoffman, both of them finishing on 21 under par. Good news for Nick Taylor, he moves up to 28th in the world on the world rankings. He was number 55 before the start of the tournament. Then on the European Tour, it is the DP World Tour. It was the Qatar Masters, won by Rikiyo Hoshikino. He's from Japan. He won it on a total of 14 under par. Also making good progress on the world rankings. He was 107th before the start of the tournament. With the win, he's now 75th on the world rankings. Then also Live Golf, that was the tournament played in Las Vegas. That's a breakaway golf league from Saudi Arabia, and it was Dustin Johnson of the USA that won the tournament, and in second place Taylor Gooch and Peter Uihlein. They both just behind Dustin Johnson. He didn't receive any world rankings for the last year. He's been playing on the Live Golf. He didn't receive any world rankings for Live Golf tournaments. He's currently number 231 in the world. That is Dustin Johnson of the USA. Continuing international sports news with cricket news, under 19 World Cup was played for men, and it was Australia that won the tournament. They played that final in Willamore Park in Benoni. They beat India by 79 runs. That was in the final. Australia batting first, 253 for 7, and India replied with 174 all out. So it was Australia winning the title, beating India. That's Australia's 4th under 19 World Cup title. And to conclude today's international sports news on the somber note, it is the current men's marathon world champion, that is record holder Kelvin Kiptum, that unfortunately tragically passed away over the weekend on Sunday in a car accident in Kenya. And the 24-year-old Kiptum broke the world record marathon in Chicago last year in a time of 2 hours and 35 seconds. Condolences from our side to family, friends and the country of Kenya with the passing of Kelvin Kiptum. And with that, I conclude today's international sports news. We talk international sports news again tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Monday evening. Before we say goodbye, as Namibia continues to mourn the passing of President Dr. Hakainde Geingob, Namibia Media Holdings would like to extend our condolences to his relatives, close friends, and the nation at large. From me, Glenn Rashipura, until next time.